What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some Bad Religion, back with a tune from their Against the Grain album again. This album came out in 1991, although this is, again, I was confused about this, but it says it right here. So this is the 2004 reissue, which I must have had it replaced at some point, because, yeah, I don't remember. I had the original CDs back in the day. Nevertheless, we're going to listen to a tune called God Song. This tune, I've always really enjoyed it musically. Lyrically, it's short. You know, there aren't as many verses or just as many words as their lyrics in a lot of other songs. I'm going to guess this is written by Graffin. It kind of has a bit more of a Graffin feel than a Gurewitz feel, because often, Gurewitz songs which address, like, religious belief and sort of, Abrahamic monotheism, they tend to be more like dialogues and, sort of him speaking to the concepts and ideas that were instilled in him when he was younger and so on, and sort of the dialogue between what we would expect to see and what we actually see and what that might mean philosophically. This is more like a philosophical repudiation of the idea that, like, wait, so these ideas that were, supposedly began thousands of years ago and have been passed down and so on, like, how does that relate to America's pastures of green and, like, like this idea of, like, national theocracy and, how does that relate to these older ideas? And at the end of the day, are we saying that these beings are kind of up there, with all their beliefs, all their thoughts and so on, unseen? I don't think so. He must be up there with the others lying low, the Greek gods and the Egyptian gods and so on. But I will say, this song is, not only is it short, but it's another one which has a bit of opacity, or a bit of, like, allegorical opacity, so I may be misinterpreting that, or at least taking it in a different direction than Graffin or perhaps Gurewitz was thinking. But again, I think it's a general sort of rejection of the concept of supernatural belief, specifically in sort of all-powerful monotheistic entities. And indeed, there's a line about how, like, religion, it's a synthetic frippery, like it's no longer necessary in our evolving cultural efficiency as a species and our ability to sort of, like, think about future generations and to plan for them. And I do think part of the end of the song, it's sort of like, if we don't change the way we're believing and thinking about these ideas, well, we're essentially racing toward a red light. So yeah, like I said, let me know if you have a different take, or at least like a more detailed interpretation. But that's the way I've sort of taken the lyrics, just as a general repudiation of the idea of sort of Abrahamic monotheism and this sort of idea of an all-powerful theistic entity, and, like, monitoring or modifying our behaviors both individually and collectively based on those supernatural ideas about unseen things. But I again do want to mention the music. I always enjoy the music in this one. It just has kind of a wicked sound. It's a fast song. It just really, like, screams the Bad Religion sort of sonics to me. So yeah, let me know what you think. But here we go. This is God Song by Bad Religion on their album Against the Grain, 1991. Traded your life to bless your soul, like a savior soul. Have they told you how to think? Cleanse your mind of sepsis and autonomy, and regale yourself with depravity. Now we all see religion's a synthetic frippery, unnecessary. Instrumental interlude. But that line about have you escaped mystery and regaled yourself with depravity, maybe, like, the people who don't fall into that, sometimes they just, become hedonists, so it's like, again, I'm not sure if that's where that line is going, but it feels like it's a criticism that maybe some people who get beyond that don't so much get beyond that belief system as just like reject it specifically and sort of regale themselves in hedonistic depravity. But like I said, let me know if it's more about people who do believe and somehow like regaling themselves in depravity because of that conviction about these unseen supernatural ideas. So yeah, I feel like that can maybe go a couple different ways. But just listening to it now, that one line felt like, you know, it was sort of an outlier, like, but, you know, there actually are some people who don't fall into this, but even then they don't really, you know, take advantage of their, like, perhaps more insightful perspective, instead just sort of like, you know, engage in crass behavior in their brief time on this planet. So let me know if you have a different take or at least a more specific understanding. I know in a lot of cases, you know, different interviews here and there, you know, members of the band, whether it's Greg or Brett or so on, have talked about the sort of understanding or the origins of a lot of these songs, but this is not one that I remember reading about. But it is one that I've liked for a long time. As I said, I love the music in that one, just very wicked and driving punk rock song. Love that little guitar solo interlude, because it starts where it's just kind of playing the melody that Greg has been singing in, but then it kind of has some like solo flourishes on top of that melody. So I really do love it. Let me know what you think. We're going to come back for many more Bad Religion songs, but I think the next thing I'm going to do, they did a live version of this on the Tested album, which is based on a tour they did in Germany. And I think I'm going to react to the live version of this song just because I like it so much, and I do remember when I got tested, that was one of the ones where I was very excited, like, oh nice, there's a version of God song on here. So yeah, we'll come back for that one. Let me know what you think. I do appreciate you watching and listening. Have a good day, have a good night, and I will see you next time. Peace.